What are we here for? What do you truly want? When change is not enough, what do you do? What are we here for? What do you truly want? When change is not enough, what do you do? Let's talk about it, the problems we face. Let's fight hatred, no time to waste. The mind is naked, we can see it without an X-ray. Life is easy if we work together. We're the keepers, we're the people, we're all equal, filled with purpose. The past has pain, it'll drive you, even make you take aim. But together is where we should aim. Together is where we should. What do you truly want? When change is not enough, what do you do?
You're listening to the Be Forever Cool podcast. My name is Rex45. We're here with another adventure. We're going to be talking about World Superbikes, some MotoAmerica stuff, and MotoGP to come. I'm excited. This show is been doing well. I want to thank everyone for liking and subscribing and commenting and engaging with us and walking up to us and want to take photos with us when we're at the track and stuff like that, and sharing their opinions if they agree or disagree with us. Some of us like it, maybe not everyone. But let me bring the fellas in and we're gonna get this thing going tonight. My name is Rex45. First on the mic tonight, like it's an open mic, is Jordan, man. Welcome to the show, Jordan. How you doing tonight, man?
Not too bad. How you doing, gentlemen? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Can't complain, man. I mean, you're up that way north. I assume you're a Celtics fan. I don't know. They're in the playoffs. How you feeling about up that way?
Anything Celtics, anything green, anytime we're winning, it's a good time. New England tends to be on the winning side, so anytime they're winning, I'm right there with them.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Excited, man. And I saw you brought the R1 out the other day, so must be nice to be able to
finally we had our first 70-degree day, so it was a must. And then after that first day, I realized, okay, let's start thinking about the season. So I ordered a double set of some Super Corsa tires for the R1M and also the 08 R1. I forgot to tell you in our last conversation that she's back. She's alive.
Okay.
Built it back from the crank up, and that's going to be the new the track weapon. So
gotcha.
I bought two sets of the same exact tires. So now the training bike and the road bike will both have the same exact feel. So I got to do it right.
Man, if I was you, I'd put the 23 on the track and I'll be cruising around on the 08 on the street.
I hear you.
I'm in a similar position because I got my 2010 1198S, and so I feel you there, man. We're gonna keep this thing moving. Harry, man, welcome to the show, man. How you doing tonight?
Yes, sir. Back again.
Yeah, man.
For the first time.
Exactly. This is gonna be your first time because this is gonna be here before the other one. So.
Back again for the first time.
Yeah, it's exactly your first time. What's good, man? How's the weather in Texas? How you feeling about MotoAmerica?
battle feeling good, man. The weather's perfect, man. It's just starting to clear up. We had a little scare thinking it was going to be 10 days of rain, but now it's showing now Texas weather, man, so bipolar.
I hear you. It's kind of the same over here on the I guess the east of you for sure,
Right.
man. But I know you got to be excited that it's just there's no snow, so you don't see snow, so you don't have to.
Oh, absolutely. No snow. Now I can't do the snow anymore. I'm too old for that, man. These old bones don't like snow.
I don't think any old bones like snow. We're just stubborn and stay up north.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. We're gonna keep it moving. Tyson, man, welcome to the show, man. How you doing? You're up north as well. You're in Maine, right? So is it you're in Maine, New Hampshire?
I'm in Maine. Yeah, I'm right on the border. So
right on the border. So
but in Maine.
You fall inside the New England camp. So you're feeling good about, you got your green. You're painting everything green.
I mean, I am a Boston fan of all sports. I'm not a huge basketball fan, but definitely love the Bruins, and they're in the playoffs too, which is good.
Yep,
so
that's true.
It's always a good year when the Boston teams are in the playoffs, and the last couple of decades, that's every year.
Right. It almost feels like as a sport, hockey, like the playoffs should be like dead of winter, not like summer.
Yeah, it is kind of strange, but it's also like right as spring's turning into summer.
Yeah.
So it is kind of nice. But
yeah.
Like when I played recreational and like in high school and stuff like that, like our playoffs was February, March.
Yeah.
So it was odd when the NHL has like playoffs in June.
Yeah, exactly. And we're getting the parade in July.
At least it's not the Pats and you're going in the middle of February. It's freezing.
Exactly.
It's a hard no for me.
Exactly.
Staying inside.
Nope. Yeah, that way you have to stay inside and burn wood for sure. For sure.
Absolutely.
I will say, speaking of, one of the cool things, I don't see it that much down this side is riding a bike in like autumn or the fall when homes of people are heating their homes with firewood and you can smell that on the street as you're riding by and stuff like that. To me, that's like nice. One of like it's such a cool thing to just be riding through that, and it's just you can smell all the different wood and if you're into smoke.
It is a satisfying smell though, smell like a fire. It's like going up to like the lake or going up to camp or whatever like that, and you smell everyone's like fires that are going. It's like nice. It's a familiar feeling, familiar smell.
Yeah, for
good
sure.
Times.
For sure. So I do miss riding up that way. But speaking of riding, guys, let's talk about MotoAmerica a little bit. We'll get a kind of round the horn of what you guys thought of the weekend in your own words and stuff like that. No one is forcing you to say what you're saying, kind of thing. We'll start with Jordan, man. What are your thoughts of the weekend? Between all the classes, but super sports, superbike. It was very interesting. It was to me, it was a lot better. It's a good first round. I mean, it's a second round because Daytona is the first round, but for Superbike, it's the second round. But it was very entertaining to watch. If you're watching Super Sport, the baggers, if you're watching the Talent Cup, those guys, if you're watching the Twin Cup, if you're watching Superbike, what are your thoughts, Jordan?
I think for the first set of races, for it to be official, I think coming out of the gate, it looks good. Everything looks great. And me being a Yamaha person, it was a good Yamaha showing. I was surprised. I saw Cameron Beaubier on the Ducati. I thought he was going to come in and absolutely destroy the field. You see what the Ducati is doing in World Superbike and other fields, Super Sport and they dominate these classes. So naturally coming in, I thought Cameron Beaubier was going to come in and absolutely just clear the field with the V4, especially the updated version that they have. But it seems the time in the seat still works in the sport, and the Yamahas look strong. Yeah, people say it's the same exact bike every year, but fine-tuning that bike and year after year, getting electronics and really putting it in the area where they need it to be. Some tracks, they're showing they can still be strong and fight with the Ducatis, and that's a good showing. Definitely a good showing.
Right.
One more thing I want to say. Shout out to Kayla, Oh my God, I couldn't believe how she how she transpired for the weekend.
Yeah.
She blew the doors off everything, off expectations, and I was a fan before, but seeing her put that thing on pole, it's great to see. Great for the sport.
Definitely. I was gonna say, I don't know, I gotta find out how guys, or not guys, but somebody gets one manufacturer and that's what they ride forever. Because I got 2 KTMs, 2 Yamahas, and 2 Ducatis.
I saw that garage. That garage looks a little full, man. I'm a little jealous.
I don't know how you do it, because what are your thoughts, Harry, man, on the MotoAmerica weekend? Kayla and Ducati and Yamaha, you feel the same way that Jordan feels about Yamaha and what they're doing?
I just start with Super Sport. I think, what is it, Josh Hayes? I think it's time for him to go ahead and hang it up, man.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's time. He started off.
Tell us why.
Yeah, he started off good. He was impressive, but that term, as long as he has been riding motorcycles, winning championships, and MotoAmerica, AMA, to make a mistake like that with a seasoned veteran, and when I watched it, I said, man, I think it's time for him to go ahead and hang it up and start his own riding community thing and start doing track days, because he's an older gentleman, and you can't take too many of those falls for something critically happen. And
listen, man, that's one of the, my dad drove until he was close to 90. It's hard to take the keys out their hands.
Yeah. I thought, and also, I was impressed of Josh Harris' recovery to get points. After his mishap of how he went into he went
the first race,
almost a gravel trap, and he was able to recoup and get points. But I like Kayla, but I think it's time for her to win. I'm a big supporter behind her, but I think now it's her time to win. And I think Harry needs to mentor her to get that grit in her to push it to the limit, to rub shoulders, rub elbows with the pack, because she's fast enough. And sometimes I think she kind of.
So you're saying is she should leave PJ tutelage and go over to Heron to be more.
Yeah, I think Ben Spees. I think Ben Spees needs to be. I think Ben Spees needs to be more hands-on with her, because to me, watching and being a kind of a historian behind motorcycle racing, especially of the American riders, Ben Spees probably has the best motorcycle riding. The best rider I've ever seen probably out of America is probably Ben Spees for me, just from watching him from AMA to going all the way to MotoGP. I think he needs to be more hands-on with her to give her that push, to that grit that she needs to win, because we can support her all day, but if she doesn't get the dubs, then I'm not saying it's. I just think she needs to win, and I think it's now. I mean, after her, debut of being on the first woman on podium at the 200 at Daytona, I think it's time for her to win, and I think she needs to. If she wants to be the star, we want her to be, it's time for her to put the tires to the ground and win.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's not the first woman to get on the podium at Daytona, but she's been the first in a long time.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah. And if not, the numbers guy's gonna yell at us for letting that.
But hey, and Superbike, I think this year Bobby Fun is going to pull it off.
Okay,
I think Bobby Fun is going to pull it off. It's just something about, regardless of what, and I respect what Jordan said, but Cameron Boubier is a champion, man. He's won on the BMW. He's won when he was with Yamaha, and I don't want to give him an excuse, because Josh Herring was on the same motorcycle last year. I mean, he should have been. He had enough time.
New bike.
I mean,
from my understanding, the team just got the bike like 3 weeks ago, the new V4R. So they haven't had the same amount of time to test that Yamaha, the bike is pretty much the same bike.
I can't give them no excuse, man. They professionals.
It's not an.
I can't give them an excuse. They professionals.
Yeah, no, it's not an excuse. But I think that it's also in theory the first round. So let's see what round 4 looks like, right? Because they are professionals. So it's not like me who takes 2 years to get up to speed on a bike.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They got to do a little bit sooner. So we're not gonna let that happen. But Tyson, man, let's hear your thoughts of the weekend. You feel the same way that these guys feel about Yamaha, about Kayla. I do think that she got on pole position. So I don't know what it was for her, why she couldn't fight. I mean, she fought because she finished, top four, I think top 4 both times. So she's right there. Does she need the dog in her? Harry
How old is
she got to fight a little bit more and get elbows out and get that grit going. She's 18. I mean, that's the other thing of it. I mean,
she's still pretty young.
My daughter's 15.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She competes in tennis, and I told her the other day, you gotta be a killer, take no prisoners. So,
to be fair, that's if that's what you want. Some people just want to go out and have some fun, and they're just very talented to take it other places. But to other people, like Marquez or Tom Brady, like they just have that inner drive of like they need to win everything. Right. And like that's why they're like the greatest, But
right. But she's on record.
She's still young.
She's on record that she wants to be number 1. So she's on record saying she wants it. And
I mean, if you're racing and you don't want to be number 1, you probably shouldn't be racing.
Correct. So yeah, man. So I think she wants it. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that? And then just the weekend.
Yeah, I actually didn't end up catching the races this weekend. Unfortunately, I do need to watch MotoAmerica because I'm the kind of person that's like, we need more American racing and racers, and then here I am not watching the races. So,
yeah. I mean, that's it's a lot of. I mean, there's World Superbike happened in the same weekend and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it is tough. But I mean, we from the results we saw, Yamaha 1 and 2, Yamaha both days, right? On Strats on Saturday and Attack on Sunday. Sean Dillon Kelly on the BMW. He was able to get on a podium. We saw that. Bobier struggled on the Ducati and stuff like that. So, what are your thoughts on just the manufacturers and just where they are?
I mean, it is kind of surprising that Ducati seems to struggle in the US. Like, for the last couple of years, Ducati's been pretty much winning the championships in MotoAmerica and World Superbike and MotoGP. But it seems like to less of a gap than World Superbike or MotoGP. Like they're winning by huge gaps in there, and I feel like almost just squeaking by in MotoAmerica. So it is kind of surprising. Is it just we have vastly different tracks than Europe and the rest of the world? Like, are they just tighter where they can they just don't really have that same advantage on a wide open European track? Yeah, I'm not sure, but it is odd.
Yeah, I would say off the bat, World Superbike got 6 Ducatis here. Warhorse got 1. Ray Hall has 1, right? I think they have 1, right? With PJ. So I think that's the issue. One of the issues you need a few where there's at least 4 Yamahas, 6 Yamahas on the grid.
A lot more data for each track probably from them too.
Exactly.
It's just because Ducati is so expensive and teams don't want to race a Ducati because it's added expense.
Well, I mean, there's that, and we just need more, people to finance the racing community, so that way, it'll be more, it'll be more bikes on the grid, because that's the biggest issue I think is the cost of getting bikes on the grid here.
Oh, certainly.
But I think that will change. So, but yeah, it makes it very difficult. And if these guys didn't get the bikes in the, because again, we see what the V4R is doing over in World Superbike as we're about to move to. So I think the US, for the last few years they've been competitive, and has won because Herron won the year before, and it slipped away from him last year, and stuff like that. Or maybe the bike wasn't there, but it was a leftover bike because of the new V4R wasn't out, and where the BMW and the Yamaha seem to do a lot better. But we shall see. But let's we'll we gotta talk about Darren Bender and what he was able to do. You talked about Kayla before we move on to World Superbike, but it's very impressive of a guy to come over, or a person to come over and learn the track. As we say, has to learn it fast. But here's a track where this guy won race on Saturday and finished number 2 on Sunday. The only person that was able to beat him was as the Jamaicans like to say, the old veteran. Jose Herron was the guy that was able to say, hey, not today. What are you guys' thoughts? And we start with Jordan first on what Bender is able to do and coming over to the US, and all these tracks are going to be new to him.
Oh, it was definitely good to see. I followed him even when he went up to, had his little small showing in MotoGP. I will say at the time I didn't think he should have been in the position. But it's good to see him go to another class and start to be successful. Whenever a racer can go to World Superbike or it be MotoAmerica and then find their place, find the right team, and then find the backing that works for them, the right situation, is very good to see. And it's very early, and it's good to see because he might be able to bring it to Herron. A lot of people are, thinking that it's Herron's championship to lose, which I am also of that belief as well. It's nobody's else's championship other than Herron's that he should come out on top. Does it put a little bit of pressure? Potentially, but at the same time, Josh Herron's been doing this for quite some time. But it is good to see somebody else right out of the gate on another Ducati being able to challenge Herron, and I think it bodes well for a good season.
Right. Now, is it Herron to lose because he's the better rider, or he just knows the track better than Darren Bender?
I will say he knows the American tracks a lot better than the latter. So it's only a matter of time. That's why I think it's going to tighten up mid-season. But then again, there will be some tracks that Herron gets to that that Bender doesn't know the ins and the outs, the small intricacies where Herron will start to walk away. But there's probably going to be times where that learning curve is going to come. The boy can ride, and the boy's going to also find some tracks that bode well for him. So hopefully, like I'm saying, I'm hoping he can keep Herron honest and keep it as a pretty good spectacle.
Right. Harry, man. I mean, I think Kayla might need to hang out with Bender, because Bender wasn't afraid to push back in them races.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He wasn't giving up.
He wasn't. Yeah, I was impressed by Bender, and I totally agree with Tyson about how he said it's Herron's to lose, but I just don't want it to be a outright, like he just don't have anybody to fight with, like in Supersport. And I think they have some good riders in Supersport, and I was impressed by Bender, and especially that one time they were in the it was like a pack of four, and they were cutting each other off, going back and forth. Man, it was intense. And I was just like, hey, look, man, Supersport was intense this past weekend. And I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of both all the classes pretty much. But, my main focus was on Superbike and Supersport. But, I was impressed by Bender, and I'm looking forward for whatever he's going to do in Birmingham. I might try to make it to Birmingham to come see what he's going to do.
Okay, that's what's up, man. I'll see you there. Tyson, what your thoughts, man, on Bender? Jordan said, he had.
Jordan.
He spent 1 year in MotoGP. That's a long year, man. The year never gets shorter. Little time in MotoGP. I mean, that's some rounds. But I wish he had more time. And I'll say this, because of his size, MotoGP made sense. I think if he had more time, who knows, right? And we can talk about some of the Moto2 rides he had, because if he was able to get on the KTM team, the Akiawa team. It might have been different for Bender in Moto 2 when he went there, but when you jump up a class and have to go back a class like he did, the only person that only person was like Jack Miller, right? He went from Moto 3 to MotoGP, and he had a good career. And but he was on that Honda for a while that he had to earn his stripes. But what are your thoughts, Tyson, on Bender and where he's at? And do you agree that it's just because he's new why he struggled a little bit and not get the 2 wins versus the first place, second place?
I think it's pretty impressive for him to come over from mostly European world riding and then place first and second in his first 2 races here. I know Petrucci in his first year, he didn't win the championship, and he not necessarily like struggled hard, but like he was not doing the performances that people expected. Like when he came over, like people were expecting him to just walk away.
But he finished number 2 in the championship, so
he finished number. But I remember hearing like people were just like, "Oh, it's his championship this year, and he's gonna win," and he didn't.
No, but Jake Gagne was on a different level.
Yeah, he was riding very well.
Like that. Jake Gagne, everybody, he was in front of everybody by a few seconds.
Yeah, that's why like Heron's, as Jordan said, like I believe it's Heron's championship to lose at that point. I mean, he's the vet. He's got a couple championships under his belt. Like he knows all these tracks. Like to have some just kid walk in from Europe and try to like take that from him. I feel like that would definitely be like a, I don't know, inspiration or whatever you need to be like I'm gonna win this championship, and just to show like the Europeans kind of thing. Right. But yeah. Well, he's not European. He's South African, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Right.
But the same thing. But yeah, so I definitely think it's impressive to win those, but we'll definitely see as these next rounds come out and go from there.
Yeah, I think so. I think VIR might be tricky for Bender, right? I think that's a track that you kind of have. It's narrow, and you really have to know it. Where like I think Barbara is similar to me to Road Atlanta, and I think like Road America. I think these are tracks that he'll do well on. I think he's been to Austin and Coda, so Coda is a track that he'll do well in. I think like the Mid Ohio's and the Virginia and Jersey. I mean Jersey's a similar track to so I think I think Bender would do well in Jersey as well. But I think the tighter tracks maybe. But your brother's in MotoGP, man. I mean, I can't imagine. Finishing second is not a struggle. But let's move over to World Superbike. World Superbike happened this past weekend as well. It happened in Assen, one of my favorite tracks. The BMWs, they don't have Top Rock. They haven't fallen back to the levels of before Top Rock, I think, because you got Oliveira that was on the podium in Portimao and in Portugal, and I think Petrucci, he had issues on Saturday. They said he jumped the start. He says he's never jumped to start in 20 plus years or whatever. But he was running the BMW, which I think he needed to. What are you guys' thoughts on World Superbike? Where some of these riders are? I know there's a consensus of folks that think that Bulaga is going to run away with it. I think Ika is sitting here saying, "Bro, by the fourth round, I'm going to win one." I think that's what Bulaga is. That's what I think. That's what Ika is saying. Because if I'm Ika, that's what I'll be saying. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
Oh, yeah, I agree 100%. I said before, it's Bulaga's to lose. He's just on form, and the seat time that he's had on the Ducati and with that team specifically is just that they're a well formulated machine. Now let me tell you, Iker Lecuonu, he is coming. He is coming slowly but surely. He's going to be on his coattails. It's just going to be, can he push him? Can he sustain the fight and bring it to him? Because he is showing he has form. He's getting to know the bike. The more that he knows the bike and feels comfortable, he's going to start pushing a little bit more on entry, on exit, and then hopefully we can see a top rack-ish kind of fight towards the middle to end of the season. That's what I would like to see. It's good. You're finished in second. You're not too far off in qualifying. You're not too far off. I'd like to see him make a little bit of a step. Naturally, that's going to come with time. But by mid-season, by midpoint, I want to see Iker say, you know what? I'm sending it up the inside of you from turn one and on. And hey, if everything goes, it goes. I just want to see him come into his own, and hopefully he makes it a season. But the Bulga's just on form. And the BMWs look good. I thought, let me see, Miguel Oliveira. I thought he was going to do a little bit better coming off his very strong weekend. Yes, it's your home track. I thought he was going to be a little bit stronger. Petrucci looked like he was going to do a good race. I had a few pretty large mistakes that ruined his weekend. But another thing I wanted to say on Petrucci, he is a bigger individual. He's tall. He's taller, weighs more than probably any other rider. So always remember, setting up a motorcycle to go fast around these circuits, he's going to have a very unique setup that's going to be unique versus a lot of these other riders. And I think certain teams, it's kind of like almost a situation where they have Bautista, where he's too light. And they have to do all the funny things with the bike. Now it's kind of the same thing with Petrucci. Yeah, he's on the BMW. It's a good package, but I feel he's just a very specific rider that will take a very specific setup, and that will differ track to track and everything. So that's, I think, the difficult thing for BMW. But as far as everything else, I think Ducati is just going to walk away with it.
Right. You know, Harry, what are your thoughts on Iker? Because I feel like hasn't crashed really this year so far, third round, where on the Honda, anytime he pushed, he was crashing. He doesn't look like he's overriding a bike. He's almost like a cat playing with a mouse with Bulaga. It's like, you're up there, but I ain't really like rise up yet. The hairs on my back hasn't stood up yet. It's just, I'm just learning a tire, managing a situation. Yeah, you got that second and a half in front of me, but you got 3 years on the bike. I got 3 weeks on the bike. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on what Jordan has said? And I feel Iker has a chance because in Moto 2, he was sunning all these guys. He was sunning them in Moto 2.
Yeah, I think it's a little early, but I do think like it's Bulaga, man. This is his time. Like he's been, huh?
I said, okay, I'm hearing you.
Yeah. He's been, battling with Top Rank these past couple of years, and he wants it. He wants it, and like the BMW is a good package, and like Tyson said earlier about the BMW crew, right? And I would think that would have like somebody would stand out like Top Rack did but Top Rack is just a generational talent. But I would think they would be like challenging more. But I mean, it's still early in the season. We still got some time to go. But I think the fourth round, I think is going to be a little different.
Okay, you think it's different in the sense that BMW will find a good footing. Or like Sam Lowe's from the satellite teams, quote unquote, because they're not really satellite at this point. If they got the money, it's a factory bike.
The engineers, man, the engineers and the R&D, man, that's where it's at. And I think like by the time those riders finally get the R&D down, it's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a tough fight to the end.
Yeah, I completely agree. Because it's a new bike, and it's just a few race. What are your thoughts, Tyson, on our World Superbike?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all in agreement here. It's definitely Bulga's championship.
I'm not in agreement. I'm not saying that.
Rexy, we know you are. Deep down, we know you are. Your heart of hearts knows the truth. You just keep stuffing it down inside you, and you don't want to let it out. And you just have to be comfortable with yourself and admit it. That it's Bulga's championship for everybody else to attempt to take it from. I mean, like you said, Top Rack left, so now it's his. Couldn't beat him, but I think it'll be interesting. I would like to see Iker Lecuona take a fight to him, especially on a Honda, seeing as that Honda has really not had any success in racing for the last, bike racing at least for the last 5-10 years ish. So it'll be good to see.
Ika's on Ducati now this year, though.
Is Ika on a Ducati?
Yeah,
he's not on the Honda anymore.
Yeah,
oh wow.
He's Bulaga's teammate.
Whiffed on that one.
Yeah, that's why we talking about it.
Well, it's good for him then, and that Ducati's nice. But it'd be good to see him doing well, especially coming out of MotoGP. But I would definitely like to see the BMWs be better than not just Top Rack. Like I like Top Rack. Top Rack's definitely a generational talent, but it would be nice to see BMW like fighting at the top purely on equipment.
Right, I agree.
Just Top Rack's ability.
I agree.
It'd be good to see.
Yeah,
at least some manufacturer to challenge Ducati.
Right, and I hope so, because I mean that was for Ducati in MotoGP when Casey Stoner won it for them, so they got a taste. They had to go back to the drawing board and really find themselves before they were able to win again. But hopefully, I mean, BMW does well in motorsports in general, so they know how to win. And hopefully what Top Rack gave them is enough for them to put. I don't want to say the same effort, because I don't, the Germans might say nobody put more effort in than they do. So but they're gonna have to get on the same level as Ducati, and we see Aprilia doing that in MotoGP. And at the end of the day, it's a Volkswagen company, so I guess at the end of the day, it is German.
Technically, Ducati is a German motorcycle now. It's an Audi.
That's what I'm saying. That's right. That's what I'm saying. And Volkswagen is the parent company to Audi and everything below that. So we're German. But, it's interesting. So hopefully BMW figures it out. And like I said, they got a taste. And I think they have the right riders. I think Oliveira is a champion. I think Petrucci, he's a journeyman, but also a champion, because I think he can fight with the top guys. He's one of these people that can, the players that might not have the same skill set of Jordan, but they can guard him. They can give him a hard time on offense as well. That's what Petrucci is. He's like, I'm not Marquez, but I'm not going to let you just get this thing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's the thing about that. So let's talk about the Lowes brothers. They've been known to crash a lot. This year, they've been doing really well. We see Sam Lowes on the Ducati. I mean, he finished third this past weekend. I think where it's a new bike, and I don't know if the factory team just got a little bit more seasoning than the satellite teams, but Sam seems to be him and Batista, but Batista got 2 titles, so it would make sense for him to find a little bit of extra energy. What are your thoughts on the Lowes brothers and where they're at right now and how they're riding? We'll start with Jordan.
I think the lack of crashes this year just shows how strong that damn Ducati is. The electronics package on that bike, chassis, everything correlated and put into that package with years and years of experience. And that team over there just knows how to get everything done. Even though it is a new package and everything, it seems that they have that bike fully sorted, kind of out of the box. They have a good base, and it works and within a wide window, kind of out of the gate. So the lack of crashes just kind of shows that the bike is great, but also, you still have to ride the bike. So it's good to see, the brothers come in and not crash so much. It, it kind of shows to other manufacturers that, okay, maybe it's not always on the rider, because a lot of the times the engineers will always say, it's definitely you. It's not the bike. But then you go to another bike, don't have problems, and it's kind of like, and I told you so type situation. I do agree with you that the satellite teams seem to just be missing a little bit off of what the factory guys, but naturally it seems like, World Superbike specifically, the factory boys, you're going to get the top personnel, the top parts, all your R&D is coming in at the fastest rate. So your satellite teams are still playing catch up in live time. But it's great to see him out of the gate doing good, putting good track time numbers, and hopefully they increase as well. And can also bring a little bit of a fight on maybe a race or two to Bulaga, and maybe beat him up a little bit, get the elbows out.
Right. Harry O, man, Sam Lowe's is number 3 in the championship. He's down about 104 points. Like points add up. Alex is tied with Miguel for 4th place. He's 5th place in the championship, but same numbers, so really they're tied for 4th place. These brothers might be able to, if they work together, even though they're on separate manufacturers, they might be able to steal one.
Yeah, I think so. They have the talent. They've been racing for forever, and they know the tracks. It's not, and it's just can they pull it off? Like, and use that combination of being brothers. And hey, look, man, we got to do something. We might not be on the best bike and might not have the best backing, but if we can just get close to them and attempt to cause some problems and some friction to the top guys, then everything. I mean, I would consider that season to be a success. But if you can't get up front, and even though they have the points, 4th and 5th place, that's great. But you just got to get up there and fight with the big guys, man. That's the thing they need to do. And hopefully, like I said earlier, man, it's still early in the season, so they should be able to pull it off.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's early, and I'm rooting for brothers because it's rare to see brothers it's rare to see siblings in the same sport at the highest level. Usually it's one in a family. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it's 2 and one is older, younger, like Marquez, like the Williams sisters, like the Bryan brothers, and well, they were twins in tennis. But when you're twins and you're both at the highest level and pretty much been dancing around like the top spot, it's fair to say Sam, when he was in Moto 2, was one of the top guys for the longest time. His brother in World Superbike was one of the top guys for the longest time. So I do think that it would be interesting to see how the season played out because the Bitmoto also looks good. Tyson, what are your thoughts, man, on those 2 guys, where they're at in the championship? Do you think they can steal one? Do you think that it's going to be more of the same Bulaga show? It's just a matter of if Bulaga can stay on the bike.
Sam and Alex are twins.
Yeah, man.
Or are they just brothers?
They're twins.
I did not know that. That's wild. Twins in the same sport. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. That is pretty cool, though. I generally do vote for twins in sport.
Yeah, identical. Yeah.
But I think Sam's definitely doing pretty well. I know the previous years that I've watched MotoGP, I've tried rooting for him. Keyword tried.
Yeah.
Because he'll do well the first couple races and then just keeps falling down the leaderboard after that. So I want to believe he's going to keep up this pace and can get some wins in there, fight for second or first. But my experience has let me down here. So I don't know. But it would be good to see Sam and Alex, sticking out there at the top. Also, whoever put Alex and Axel on the same team is an asshole. That's ridiculous.
Okay, let's elaborate a little bit more. Why? Why? Because it's bad for Axel, or is it bad for Alex?
Just their names.
Oh,
if anyone has dyslexia, that sucks. I'm sorry for you, man. That's got to be a practical joke.
Ax and Ax, Ax1, Ax2.
Alex and Axel. I have to specifically these are their names. I need to make sure I say them correctly.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. And Axel Bassani is when he was on the Ducati, he was more consistent. He struggled on the BMW on the Bitmotor, and it seems like this year is he's better than last year so far, but he's a better rider, and I don't know if he just needs to hang out with Alex more and see what Alex got the experience, and Alex was on Kawasaki before he jumped on other brands and came back to the Bitmotor and stuff like that. So he definitely have more experience on different manufacturers. let's talk about some of these other riders. Let's talk about the Yamaha riders because unlike MotoAmerica, the Yamahas are struggling. It's nice to see Xavi, who also left Honda and came over to the factory side on Yamaha, do well and be one of the top riders. Remy Gardner seems to is struggling. He's still within the top 10. But I know he's a better rider than what we're seeing. We'll start with you, Jordan. I mean, you're a Yamaha guy. You're seeing this. You bleed blue. Well, we all bleed blue.
I will say, other than the Ducatis, the next manufacturer up was the Yamahas. I do believe. So we do have that going for us. The tough thing is it's like the top 6 or 7 are all the damn Ducatis. I will say the Vierge is probably I think moving into top Yamaha spot, moving good, and just Remy Gardner just seems to keep on struggling on the bike. I thought he was would come into a little bit more. He has a little bit of seat time on the Yamaha, and the Yamaha's, for what it is, it's a well sorted. You have data up the wazoo, so I was expecting a little bit better standings this year. But other than that, it is good to see Yamaha, the next manufacturer, up kind of there next to the Ducatis. It's just the time in the race and how far we're off the race win is still just a massive issue.
Right. Well, I mean, we just talk about Bitmoto, who's in front of the Yamahas, but Yamaha's up there.
I don't know if anyone told Yamaha that they were the next factory up.
Harry, what are your thoughts, man, on where Yamaha is and all that fun? I don't know what is your choice of bike, actually, Harry, as well.
What is my choice? Bike of choice?
Yeah, there you go. You said it the right way. I said it.
I'm gonna do Ducati and a Aprilia guy.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on? I believe I like that. What are your thoughts on where Yamaha is and what they're doing and these riders that like I said, I mean, these guys were killers in Moto 2. When I think of Gardner, he won the Moto 2 title and stuff, and I thought he got a bad shake in MotoGP while he was there. I think any rider in MotoGP that gets a 1-year deal gets a bad shake because just keep me if you think you're gonna do it at the end of the year, just keep me in Moto 2 because it's you need more than 1 year to show yourself in anything. But anyway,
my thing with Yamaha, I owned the R1. I had a 2012 R1. I love that motorcycle, but I think Yamaha have gotten so comfortable with the crossplane, and I think it has never been updated. And with the technology they're having right now by introducing the V4 and the MotoGP, I think some of that technology needs to be passed down to the Superbike.
Right.
And I think once they do something with the engine and update the engine, like I said, they've been having the crossplane since Rossi been winning championship, and I think it's just time for a big update. And funny. I think once they do,
it's funny you say that because the crossplane reminds me of some of these cars I hear today. Like it makes a lot of noise, but it ain't really moving like the noise it's making.
Yeah. But it's good in corners, though. It's good in corners. I will say that.
Yeah, so it's
great in corners. Very well balanced in the corners.
Yeah, but so is the Aprilia and the Ducati.
So is the what?
The Aprilia and the Ducati.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a well-balanced motorcycle. It is. Most definitely. Nothing can beat the V4 right now. Like, I mean, as far as Italian-made motorcycles, the I4 and the BMW is okay, but that crossplane needs some major updates. And Yamaha has done all they could do, squeeze everything they could squeeze out of it, and it's just time for an overhaul.
Right. It's safe to say that the V4 from the MotoGP bike will end up in the street production bike, so it's coming.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. So it will come. So I think we will see Yamaha with a handling bike and a V4. And I think once Yamaha and MotoGP figures out how to get the power to keep the rubber from spinning up or the rim from spinning up, that V4 is going. It has the power because the tire is spinning up, and they just can't keep it on the ground. So once they figure that out, it's going to be like the Ducati and the Aprilia.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it's a matter of time, but I feel you, Tyson. You're a BMW guy. You're going to be the elephant in the room in a few years in the inline 4, and I don't know if you can race a boxer.
I mean, to be fair, I'm really like a Honda Ducati guy, but I just liked BMW's product better. I'm not really so like married to any one manufacturer, but
I hear you.
you were talking with Hario, and I was gonna say my conspiracy theory is that Yamaha is gonna use the MotoGP bike to develop their V4 so that they can put all of their R&D money into an R&D sport, and that way none of their R&D money has to go onto the books of Yamaha motorcycle manufacturing with the development of a V4 for their road bike. So that's my like sneaky suspicion as to what they're actually going to do is they're going to develop this V4, they're going to get it sound on MotoGP, then they're going to throw it over to a track bike. Well, the R1 chassis or whatever. My guess is they would get rid of the R1 completely as an inline 4. It would be a V4. Like they're not going to maintain two super bikes with two different motors.
Right, exactly.
They're going to have to make the choice.
Right.
So
and yeah, the V4 will stay in MotoGP, get smaller, but it's still going to be a V4. It'll go into
they'll bore it out like Ducati does, like Ducati does for all of their, like the V4R is a 1000, but the street bike is a 1200.
Right, but where MotoGP is going to the 850 in 27, and right now it sounds like the 850 is going to be faster than the thousands right now. So even though it's an 850, weight savings.
I mean, fair enough. Sure.
So it's from what they're saying in testing. I mean, if you believe the numbers that are coming out in the World Wide Web, it sounds like it's going to be, they're going to be doing close to the same time, because if you got less horsepower, you have to worry about getting traction to the ground, and you can get smoother power to the ground. Then you're not going to, in theory, waste some energy.
Just be more efficient with the energy that you're manufacturing. Yeah,
exactly. And I think
5 seconds off. That's what I hear.
Yeah,
5 seconds off.
No, 1.5 to 2.5 seconds off minimum.
Right.
The new bikes.
The 850s, like minimum. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, like as they say, there's no replacement for displacement. I mean, like, unless they're doing something else to make power, there's no way you're going to make more power out of less CCs.
Right. But they're still in testing phase. This is not like a year into this. That 2 point whatever, the 2 seconds is going to come down.
I could see them after a couple years of development being just as fast as they are right now.
Right.
I don't see any fastest laps that are currently held being touched in the next 3 years.
There was a lap time that was just broken the other day, set by I think Gerloff or somebody that was like a 8-year-old record in Road Atlanta.
I'm going for. Oh no, I'm talking MotoGP wise.
No, but even Lorenzo in 08 had record. He held the old record for a long time too.
Didn't they just beat at Coda? Didn't they just beat the track record that was like 6 or 7 years old? I think it was like a 19 or 18 track record.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there's records out there that like on that, it all depends on the rules. Cause I think like when Lorenzo did it, he was able to use like some testing tire or something like that, or whatever the case may be, right? They all these whatever, right? But like, if in the right circumstances, there's it's not like every year the lap record is getting broken.
In GP, I don't know. And in MotoGP, the last couple of years, it's been I believe it's been more consistent than any years that I've seen lap records being smashed consistently.
Correct. But the records
when if they don't have weather permitting, if they have good weather and it's everything, a lap record was gonna fall the last couple of years, which I think is a good place for the sport to go. Where I see it going, I don't see a lap record being touched the next 3 years under the new regulations.
But the records,
that's my take.
Right, but the records they're breaking are records that were like 5-6 years old. It wasn't like they broke records from the year before.
Tracking.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like the records they're breaking now, but there were records that were held for a long time. Unless it was a new track that just got to MotoGP, those records. That's what I'm saying. So it's possible that anything is possible. Like Kevin Garnett, anything is possible. So we'll leave it there and see because everybody.
I want to say something real quick. We were talking about Yamaha developing the V4 and possibly going to the R1. But look at Honda. Honda's been running a V4 forever in MotoGP, and the Fireblade has never, no talks or nothing about them switching from a inline 4 to a V4 inside the Fireblades. It's SP or RR. Nobody.
Honda cheap and reliable. That's why.
Yeah, they are. But I would love to see them, hopefully move to a V4 inside, our street bikes. But
I know a lot of them do it for simplicity. Like you have a V4 that's 2 banks of cylinders, 2 different sets of timings, 2 sets of timing chains, like that sort of deal. Like, so I know a lot of the companies have kept the inline 4 just due to simplicity of ownership for their customers. Take that with a grain of salt or for whatever it's worth, but that is a reason.
Right. And Honda does have a V4. So, or had. I mean, they had the VFR. The VFR.
That was 25 years ago.
They had the 1200 that they made up until like 2012 or something like that. 2014 they still have an 800. I think the 800 I think 2014 was like the last year. So they have the tech. You know what I mean? True. And obviously they have it in the GP bike. So I don't know if it's nostalgia of that Repsol that they're just trying to get every dime they can out of that bike. But they're gonna have to come around, because if the culture is saying we want a V4 and they're the last one stand, and they're not the last one because we got Suzuki, they're gonna have to come around and do something. I can't imagine that they don't.
Suzuki's never going to a V4.
Yeah.
Now talk about selling the same bike year after year. Look at the Suzuki.
Are they still selling the K7?
Yeah. About my damn Yamahas, man.
The culture, man. The culture is real. They're sustaining bikes just based on.
I shouldn't show this.
Well, let's talk about, before we get out of here, guys, let's talk about MotoGP, what you expect to see this weekend. We'll go around the horn in your own words. Just, what are you expecting to see and why? We'll start with Jordan.
My man Marco over here, I think he's going to continue in just his amazing fashion, amazing form. I think the Marc Marquez is going to look to get back a little bit more, but I think he's still struggling with injury. At the same time, Digia, I think Digia is on form. He looks great. So the Aprilias versus the Ducatis. Obviously, the Yamahas are going to struggle. It was great to see Top Rack last go around be the top Yamaha. I think he's every single time he goes out and touches that bike, he's not only has his head in the game 100%, because I believe Quartararo has 1 foot out the door. He gets in a race and things start going a little bit bad, and he just seems to have a fuck it mentality at this point. But it's good to see Top Rack, like you said, generational talent. I've been waiting to see him in MotoGP. Finally, seeing him in there and being top Yamaha this early just bodes very well. Other than that, the KTMs are coming. Pedro Acosta is their leading light. It was sad to see Vinales not out another week after having that screw removed, and he's rehabbing, which is good to see you getting the rehabbing done. But I believe the clock is ticking on Vinales. He needs to start showing some results before the end of the year, because the time is going in. These young guys are just looking better and better. Other than that, I'd say Alex Rins. I think the clock is ticking on him. I believe it's potentially probably his last year in MotoGP. People don't want to hear it. This is just rumor mill, but it should be a good weekend. But the Aprilias, I think Bez is going to come in and get it done, put it to Mark, and I don't think there's going to be a damn thing he can do about it.
All right. I hope it's not Alex Renz's last year because he's had a bad rap. It's just awful to have injuries and it's tough to deal with. What are your thoughts, man, this weekend? What are you looking to see, Harry-O?
Man, I'm looking for Bears again. I'm a big Bears fan, and I think it's two equalizers that's in the field that's going to prevent Mark Marquez from being so successful, especially with Jorge Martin being at full fitness this year and the way Pedro Acosta is riding. Those guys have a similar riding style with Mark, and it's hard for Mark. Just these past couple weekends, I've been watching Mark. Even though he's injured, it's hard for him to do what he needs to do to get past those guys. And Bears is riding on a freaking rocket. I don't think anybody's going to stop him, but I like the battle between Digi and Agura. I love that battle. It was that mishap that he had here with the Old Glory motorcycle. I thought for sure that he was going to be able to get past Acosta to try to win before his motorcycle got whatever happened to it. But I look forward Digi and Agura to battle this weekend, and I like what they did when Coda, and I foresee that they'll probably have the same battle here in Jerez. And I don't know, just the rest of the guys. Those guys. I don't know what's going on with Frankie Morbidelli. I don't know if he's racing this. I don't know what's going on with him. He's just sad case. This year. Last year he was looking good. Him and Digi were like that combo. They were handling business like podium. They were podium around this time, and to see how far he fell off this year. Well, I don't know if he's on a 26 or a 25 Ducati, but still, he should be able to do something.
Bike. They got parts from about 4 different bikes and then just all put together. I'm telling you, it's a Frankenstein bike. They don't know what year to call it.
Yeah, no, I feel you there.
All right, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm already like, I just looked at the app. I think we got 11 hours till they start getting busy. So, like, I'm looking forward to it. So, like, yeah, I'm ready for this weekend. Like MotoGP is where where my heart is. So I'm looking forward to deep dive and get back into the swing of things because I'm still hung up off Coda.
No doubt. I feel you there, Tyson. Man, what are your thoughts, man? What are you looking to see this weekend, man?
I'm looking for a good race, honestly. I mean, Bez is gonna win, probably. In my heart of hearts, I know. Okay. But I would like to see a good race, like a fight for the podium. That's always good to see. I'd like to see Mark on the podium again. I'd like to see him turn his season around. That'd be good to see. Jordan brought up Toprak. Great to see him as top Yamaha last round. I think it's quite impressive that he's kind of showing his stuff. 3 rounds in now. Right. I was kind of concerned it may take him a couple months to get to grips with the tracks and the bike and stuff like that, and start putting up sort of similar sort of positions as Quartararo through the races and sprints. But yeah, I'd really like to see him doing better than 15th, but good to see him as top Yamaha. But yeah, I can definitely see Digia, Mark, Bez, Jorge up there at the top. I'd like to see the customer Aprilias getting be a little bit more consistent though, and fighting a little bit more for podiums, because they certainly have the talent and the bike to be doing it.
I completely agree. I hope Trackhouse get it sorted out. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys coming on tonight. My name is Rex45. It's the Be Forever Cool podcast. I want to thank Jordan for coming on. I want to thank Harry-O from Two Wheels One Chain coming on. Tyson from up north. I appreciate you guys. Peace.
Have a good one, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. All right, take care. Blessings, brothers.
Yes, sir.